Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Aliane and I wanted to welcome you to my channel. So before you leave, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any of my future uploads. So in today's video, I am going to be sharing with you guys 4 dinner ideas that are very simple and yet delicious that you can make for your own family. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, leave me a comment down below, give this video a like, share with your friends and family, and let's get going. So to start off, we are going to be doing the beef empanadas. These are Argentinian, I believe, but don't quote me. I know these are not authentic. But I did watch a YouTube video of somebody making it and this is pretty close, so I think I came close to making the authentic ones. So anyways, I started off by browning the beef and then I chopped up some veggies to go in, which are the peppers and the onion. The recipe calls for a red onion, but I'm sure you can substitute it with a yellow or white onion as well. Once the beef was browned, I went ahead and I took it out and added a bit of olive oil and sauteed the vegetables. And for seasoning, it was cumin and some oregano leaves and paprika. It says Spanish paprika, but I just had the regular, so I went ahead and I used that with some salt and pepper. But now it looks like acting, like we were fiction in a book. You will need some boiled eggs. For my recipe I used 3. I have boiled them ahead of time so they can cool off, and then you want to cut them up in small pieces. Luckily I had a slicer, so I just went and I pressed them through. And then also I used the shells. I got them from a local Mexican grocery store. So then I went ahead and I let the filling cool down for a couple of hours before I started filling the dough, and then you just seal it with a fork. Can bake these, you just need to brush an egg wash on them and then you bake them in the oven. But I decided to deep fry mine and they were so delicious, and this is how they turned out, and we just had it with a side of a salad. Now on to our creamy mushroom and chicken pasta. These are the ingredients you will need: some chicken that I cut up in small pieces, mushrooms, and some bow ties. You can use any kind of pasta you like in this recipe. And for this sauce, I just picked the rosé and some onions, salt and pepper, and whatever seasoning you want as well, and some garlic, of course. I love her, I want her, I need her, but you're so serious. She's trouble, I trust you, I hate you, 'cause you're probably right. But I forget when she gives me that smile. It's like I never felt so alive. So to start, I browned my chicken a little bit with a little bit of olive oil and seasoned it with the salt and pepper and just let it turn a little brown, just have some color to it. So I transferred the chicken to a bowl, and in the same frying pan that I used, I went ahead and I sauteed the mushrooms, onions, and garlic. It smelled so good. I wish you guys could smell it. Onions and garlic and mushrooms, just, oh, they're so good. And then after they were all done, I added back the chicken. And while that was still cooking, I went ahead and I started on the water for the pasta. Like I said, I used the bow tie, but you can honestly use anything. Penne is one of my favorites, but I didn't have it on hand, so I just went ahead and I used what I had, and I let that cook for a little bit, according to the package, of course. So once the pasta was going, I went ahead and I added my sauce to the chicken and mushroom mixture. This sauce was so thick, so to thin it out, I added some liquid to it. You can use chicken broth or just water. Before you add your salt, just taste to see if you need any more. Sometimes the sauces have a lot of sodium in them themselves. So because the sauce was still a little bit thick, I used the pasta water, which is nice because the starch helps the sauce adhere to the pasta. Then I went ahead and I poured in the pasta once it was done, and it was so good. To garnish it, of course, you want to add some Parmesan cheese, and we served it with some garlic bread, and it was so good. The kids loved it. So now on to our next recipe, which is the marry chicken. I used chicken thighs on here. I have made this recipe before, and I used the chicken breast. I will link it somewhere if you want the full recipe, and you can go ahead and watch it if you have not. So while the chicken is browning, you want to turn your oven on to 375 so you get it going. When the chicken was done browning, I took it out and started on sauteing the garlic and the onions. I added in my chicken broth, and once that was going, I went ahead and I put in the cream and just added my seasonings, and I allowed it to simmer. I added in my sun-dried tomatoes and some Parmesan cheese just to thicken out the sauce a little bit, and then I put in some salt and pepper to season it, and then I went ahead and I transferred the chicken back into my cast iron pan. Oh yes, I forgot to mention, you do need some kind of oven safe, either like a cast iron or just any regular skillet, because this does need to go in the oven a little bit. So yeah, once that was done, this is how it turned out after baking it for about 20 minutes. And it was so good. It calls for basil, but I did not have basil on hand, so I just sprinkled some parsley on top. And to serve it, we served it with rice and a side of broccoli, and it was so delicious. Our next recipe is the veggie sausage stir fry. I wanted to add in a little bit of vegetarian type of dish in here, so I wanted to try these plant-based sausage. I started off by chopping it up diagonally in small pieces and browned them just a little bit in some olive oil. Once they were nice and brown, I took them out of the pan, and I wanted to fry up my vegetables, which were the peppers, mushroom, garlic, and onions. But in a stir fry, you can honestly add in anything that you want. These are just the veggies that I had on hand, so you can go ahead and use whatever you have on hand, and it will still turn out delicious.
Don't call me, I don't wanna talk to you. I'm better off not talking to you. But why are you trying to hold on?
Once the vegetables were a little bit translucent, I went ahead and I added in some soy sauce. Soy sauce just makes everything taste so good to me. So I went ahead and I put in a little bit, about a tablespoon, and yeah, the veggies looked ready, so I put back the sausages and just mixed up everything and let the flavors kind of marry, and I served it with some rice. And we had this for lunch, but it's also a dinner idea that you can use, or you can have it for lunch. Any of these recipes can be eaten for lunch. So yeah, like I said, I served it on a bed of rice, and it was so good. I thought like the sausage would taste a bit off, but honestly it was good. It was my first time trying it, and I must say it was quite delicious. I do have to say the sausage is spicy a little bit, so I did not feed this to the kids. It was just for me and my husband. Alright you guys, that is it for the video. Thank you guys so much for your support and for coming back and watching my videos. I hope you enjoyed this one. I will be sharing another video next week of what we ate Wednesday. It will go up every Wednesday, so make sure you stay tuned for those. Have your bells on so you will be notified every time I upload a what we ate Wednesday. I will see you guys in my next video. I was so excited to film this, as you can tell, and I really hope you guys like these kind of videos because I can't wait to share more with you guys. Till next time guys, bye.